Hey guys, welcome to Saturday Spotlight. Got another big scale on the bench in the spotlight today. This one being the MPC 1/16 scale General Lee. Now I don't really have maybe a whole lot to talk about this kit, other than it is one of my favorites. I enjoyed building this kit. Not that it was necessarily a smooth flowing kit to build, but that I enjoyed building it because of what it is. Now, I did a little checking on scale mates on this, and I found for the 69 body, it looks like 1980 was the original release for this, right after the show. So apparently the 69 body was the brand new tool specifically for the show. As far as what I found on scale mates, for what I looked up. But actually the chassis has a farther back history, and I'm going to let him keep spinning here. I'm going to talk just a little bit about that, then we'll take a closer look. But the chassis on this actually, I believe, was brand new tool in 1971 or 73, and that would have been, I believe, with the Richard Petty STP Charger. Now, like I said, the chassis is virtually the same thing, and there was a couple other variants of this base with the chassis. There was the K&K Insurance Buddy Baker. I think they did that in the 1/16 scale. And again, guys, if I'm happen to be a little incorrect on some of this, just go ahead, feel free to leave it in the comments, and that way I'll know 100% on the history of this thing. But so you had the Petty Charger, then I believe the Buddy Baker K&K Insurance car, and then there was a 73. It was that 71 to 73 body style. I think they called it a Street Charger. I've actually got one of those in the stash. It's buried in a tote up in the loft here somewhere, but it also has this basic same chassis design, just a different body, different interior. Now, I don't know as far as the other. I do have the Petty Charger. Haven't had it out of the box in a long time. It's still unbuilt, but I think it's got the actual racing seat. So these were actually different seats right here, and I think these seats actually come from that Street Charger, which was a 71 body, but had the flared fenders on it and everything, but it had like pretty much a full stock style interior in it. So we're just going to look at this a little bit. I'll give you a little bit of the details on it, on this specific kit right here. Now, this was from the reissue, and I believe I actually got this in 2012, but I think the reissue was originally it was like 2010, somewhere in there. And my brother actually got one of these kits for his birthday back in 81, right in that ballpark, 82 maybe. And I remember watching my dad build that for him. Now, I've still got that body somewhere, but over the years, originally, Dad built it. He didn't paint it because it was molded in orange at that time. And he had put the decals on it. Well, over the years, the decals had came off of it and everything. So when my brother gave me all his old stuff, that was one of them. And I ended up just painting it a different color. I think I painted it a purple, but so many of the parts were busted and missing. As a matter of fact, there's one part on this model that actually is from the original release of that model, small as it may be. So anyway, let's just bring this guy in closer. I'm gonna have to move this tray out of the way, so I got plenty of room. I think that'll. I always got to get that guy out of the way. The turntable should be fine where it is. So anyway, let's just take a look at this real quick. Again, that nice 69 body. Now, the difference in this is this car actually does not accurately represent the car that was on the show. And that's taking up all that camera, ain't it, guys? That's a big hunk of plastic. Does not accurately represent the actual car. This actually would depict what a NASCAR body would have looked like. Because right here you've got your wheel wells are more rounded right here. You could tell they would have been like cut out for the bigger slicks and such. So the body's not actually 100% accurate, although it does have that nice RT back window. So we'll just move around the front here. It's got the push bar on it. Nice 69 grill there. And we'll just go ahead and look at the engine now. I'm going to go ahead and pull the hood off completely. Hemi engine. It comes with the kit. If you've not built this kit, it comes with the engine wires, the carburetor, fuel hoses here, and then of course it's got your, see, it's just a complete NASCAR setup chassis. It's got your dual shocks in there, both sides, and like would have been like your oil cooler probably would have been mounted here, and they got the battery set up here. And that era of NASCAR, I'm not sure if they put those in behind the wheel or not. I'm not sure back in that day how they actually did that. But fun car to build. It can be challenging with fitment issues and everything, but it does have posable steering, and they do, for the most part, they tend to move together. Let me make a liar. See, they sort of move together. It's a little bit quirky, but it works nonetheless. And then now this I painted in EV2 Hemi orange paint, which was actually the Dodge. I think it was a Dodge color, called it Hemi orange, and I think Plymouth called it Tor red. Was the EV2 was a Tor red on the Plymouth cars, which had a more of a red hue to it. And then of course around the back there's that CNH 320 license plate from the show. Hazard County there. It's probably not going to focus for you. Issues with, there it goes, sort of, it was right there, you go. Anyway, issues with the camera, guys. But anyway, then you can see in here, let's see if I can show you. Now, see the dash? That is a flat out NASCAR dash, guys. It's just got the gauge set. There's no glove box or anything in it. It does say Charger on the dash. I don't know if you can see that from here. It does say Charger on the dash, and it's like a wood grain finish. But I just did it up with the colors of the car on the show, the best that I could for what happened. I got to get that back there, boy. This ain't no little one, is it? So yeah, V2 paint, and I used that actually from a rattle can, and it's not as smooth as I'd like to be, because those rattle cans, guys, you just don't have the control like you would in an airbrush. Now, if I was doing this today, I would just get the faster enamel and run it through the airbrush, and you get a lot better finish on it. But then we'll look at that. We'll look at that race car chassis underneath here. Now, see, this is just flat out NASCAR competition here. Is what this is. So there's nothing like the car on the show was supposed to be just like a regular car that they turned into a race car, but would have had no chassis like this. But really cool nonetheless, guys. Like I say, they cut corners, I'm sure, save money. They already had the chassis mold done. They figured, well, we'll just change the body to fit the chassis. The steering wheel, and I love the shifter in this. It's a really cool, it's like an old NASCAR shifter. And the steering wheel isn't quite properly aligned. You could probably do some work to make that better, but I just did it. That way, just to build it. This was a fun build for me. I just wanted something nice to set on the shelf, and you know, go back to the days of when they made these big scale kits, and how they made them. So, like I said, guys, I really don't have a whole lot more to tell about this. Other than I first experienced this kit when I was a kid. I was probably 8, 9 years old when my brother got that for his birthday, and Mom and Dad still got a picture of that somewhere. Him getting that gift for his birthday. So pretty cool. But nice decals in this. I think they are scaled accurately to what would have been on the show as far as the car goes, and all the decals on top there. But very, very nicely detailed engine in this Hemi engine. And I believe the Street Charger, the 71 to 73 body, actually has a Hemi as well. So basically this whole chassis, you could build that chassis, pull this body off, put it on that other chassis, I think everything's going to fit up fairly well. I don't know, maybe the interior panels may, be the only issue, but for the most part, I think everything is really virtually the same. And then you see here on this hood, see that paint just didn't hold a shine. It's kind of streaky, but I just left it go the way it was. That's the best I could get out of that can at the time, and I figured, you know what, I've got a Charger generally, and a nice one to set on the shelf. So, and really, guys, this is going to be a short one because, like I said, not a whole lot more. Check that look. Is that really cool or what? I always liked the front end of the 69 because it had that, that separate bumper and the split in the middle there. Very nice. And guys, that show actually, let's see if this will set on here without, we might be able to get that to rotate around without that big one. There we go. I think it'll be all right. That show actually is probably more than likely what is responsible for those B bodies, especially the 69 Charger, to skyrocket in value like it did. And I had heard that Warner Brothers actually would scour shopping mall parking lots, grocery store parking lots, and anywhere they would see a 69 Charger, they would leave a note on it wanting to purchase a car and turn them into a General Lee. And I guess there was, it's estimated 380 to 400 of those Chargers were actually destroyed in the making of that show. And hard to believe that, hard to think of that today, but back then, guys, when the show started, it was a 10-year-old car. A lot of them were 318 cars, I think, for the long distance jumps and everything. Now I think the close-up shot cars, I think, were the big blocks, but they would have probably used anything for the ones that they crashed, as far as that goes. But just a classic piece of history, guys. Great television show, great messages that it would teach, and I remember a fun part of my childhood growing up, watching the Dukes of Hazzard on Friday night. Looked forward to that every week, and then had to wait that whole other week, to see what the next show was going to be about. And one thing I forgot, I just happened to see it. The one part on this kit that is from the original kit is the fire bottle, and it's just the way my dad painted it back then. I did not do anything to it. I just happened to, because the other one's in pretty bad shape, so I just borrowed that and said, well, now it's got a piece of the actual original kit, the original release in that. So, but anyway, guys, short and sweet as it may be, that's really all I've got on this one. So, not a lot to tell. Again, it's another one from my past builds. I built this. I think I said I built this in 2012. I should have put the big one back on there, and I'm fiddling with it. Look at that. Built it in 2012, 2013, right in that ballpark. So it's been it's been in the shelf for about 10 years, 11 years now. But I guess I'm just kind of standing here rambling now. Really don't have anything else to tell about it, other than it is a good kit. Like any MPC, I think it's got its quirks, but to have it in big scale is really cool, and I was really glad to see that they had re-released that one. So, all right, guys, with that, I think that's all I've got for this spotlight. So until next Saturday spotlight, you guys be sure to come back. We'll see what we got on the bench then. So until then, you guys have a great day. God bless you, and happy modeling.